Okay, so last video we looked at, coming up with different ideas about, what kind of words, situations we could configure for our kids at home to maybe use some different words. So I hope you've got your list with you and you've thought about that in terms of what kind of phrases, words, or situations you might want to construct during the day. I want to talk a bit more today about the technique. Now, I've also done some videos about this previously that you can probably find, but I'm going to recap and refresh everybody with something, a bit new today. And I want to focus on the teaching technique because it's not always easy to get children with autism to be spontaneous and to talk. So I want to help you with some of the tips that we use to get that to happen here at AP. So the first thing you've got to consider is really about this child's preferences. You've got to really make sure that there's something that they want or don't want, or it fits into the profile of what you're trying to teach. You can't teach a child to ask the question, what's in there? If they really don't care about what's in there. If they don't really want to look for their pajamas, it's pointless to get them to say, where's my pajamas? There's got to be the right intent for the right kind of situation, and you've got to be monitoring that all the time. So you've got to really put yourself in their shoes and think to yourself, if I put them in this situation, would they really want to say that? For me personally, I would love to have a warm shower, but maybe the child, when you put the cold water on, they don't care or they actually like it. So you have to really think carefully about your child and what their perspective is and whether they really would want to use those words, whether they can say them or not at this point in time. So once you've had to think about those situations, you're going to get these foods out at meal times, or you're going to get those toys and, see if he'll request for them, or you're going to, set up these situations where communication will be, something that's necessary for them to get their needs met or what they would like to know. Next, you need to think, is there a specific phrase or specific word that you'd like them to say? In the beginning of training, it will be confusing to children if you give them too many phrases that mean kind of similarly the same thing. For example, I want the juice versus can I have the juice versus give me the juice. They all kind of mean the same thing. And if the child's a very beginner learner in this, they may end up getting kind of confused. It may be better to start with just kind of one phrase. Imagine if you're in Japan and you're learning Japanese, you might just use a phrase book, right? You might just memorize a phrase, or you're learning a specific phrase that you can use in that situation to ask about making a hotel room or ordering some food in a restaurant. If there were many phrases that mean the same thing, it might be a bit more confusing in the beginning. You can always build from that and use more different kinds of language later on when your child's more stable with maybe one thing to begin with.